Yeah, so just watched the Josh Taylor fight live. It's early morning here Sunday. I feel like we've been watching boxing for like 3 straight days because I'm looking over my notes. It seems like that Hollywood card was like 3 days ago. So the card that was headlined by Johnny Mansour and Christian Avalos. So yeah, looking at my notes, we could talk. It was a big weekend of boxing. Obviously, Josh Taylor's fight just came to an end. We could just start there and end there if you guys want. Um, hopefully you did well with your picks. You can't win them all. I was up to 31, 37. Josh Taylor would have been my 43rd pick in a row if he would have stole some of those later rounds. You can't win them all, guys. This is why I don't bet on boxing to get rich. It's only an element of my channel because you guys asked me for it. The heart of my channel is explaining to you guys who these fighters are, and I think we do a pretty good job at that. And Nathaniel Collins looked good. You can win 42 fights in a row, and then the one you lose, it's the one that bothers you. This Josh Taylor fight, I'm rewatching it as we're speaking, introducing Essuman right now. It kind of bothers me just in the sense of, and hats off to Ekow. It wasn't a robbery. Everyone I spoke to feels that Ekow did enough to win that fight, especially late. And yeah, Javi Ramirez. I didn't bet on that fight. Ramirez was a weak. You're talking about the kid from Wild Card. His name slips my mind. Papa Sustanov. But Ramirez was a weak notice, and they wouldn't let us bet on it. Thank God. Did Nixon and Sutherland ever fight? I think that fight got nixed, Dino. I think the Nixon and Sutherland fight got nixed. BoxRec doesn't even have it coming up. Guys, wherever you are, like this video, comment, let me know what you think. Without looking too far ahead, I do want to focus on the fights that just happened. But guys, there's fights happening. We got the Sugar Nunez fight in a few days, so I'm going to be covering that. There's 2 world title fights on that fight card, and then that leads us into the Caleb Plant fight this weekend. So it's never ending. Hopefully you guys won some money. I'm going to put I don't cover all the fights. The only fights I tell you to bet on are the ones I cover, but there were fights in, I think, Poland today. So I hit a 7-leg parlay in Poland. I think it was a plus 189. So I'm actually up, and I hit the Hollywood card. I went heavy on the plus 154 in Hollywood with all the favorites. And this one, I hit 4 out of 5 on my channel. The only fight I lost was the Taylor fight. We hit Nathaniel Collins. That's my most proud pick. He ended up messaging me on Instagram before the fight. He follows me now. And I told Nathaniel, his mom watched that video I did. And before the fight, I just thought Nathaniel was a level above Lee, just based off of his skill set and his speed. And that was well. Thanks. Profitable weekend, but frustrating to end with a loss on Taylor. 100% will, especially when the signs of decline were there. I know. Essuman did deserve it. It's kind of like, what's up, GOAT? David Easter, what's up? I think Gary Antoine Russell would kill those guys. Teofimo already stuck a fork in Taylor. Yeah, GAR is fighting at 40. Yeah, GAR is a world champion at 40. GAR is one of my favorite fighters. You guys, the longer you watch my channel, you know how high I hold GAR. And the lessons he took from that loss against Alberto Puello, we got to see him implement those lessons against Rayo. Because that version against Rayo, Jesus Christ, I don't think anyone beats GAR at 40. The version we saw against Rayo, that was an amazing performance. And we have to remember, Rayo had all the hype about him. Rayo was the one on the move. Do you ever do round robins? I don't explain. Go like the whole betting on boxing in terms of using sports bet apps. I'm still learning that boxing's my go-to in terms of breaking down the fights and telling you guys who to win. So you guys put me in this position to start wagering on it. But what's round robins? I know in basketball, round robin means something. I don't know what you mean in boxing. David Easter, but even Russell lost to a guy wasn't supposed to. Yeah, but that was to Alberto Puello. We saw Alberto Puello's slickness, southpaw. Puello's a tough out, too, and there's no shame in losing to that guy. I hit Nathaniel on 3 different parlays. Dino, love that pick. Collins is a serious fighter, showed levels tonight. 100% Oscar. It was crazy. All the people who picked Lee, no shade to them, but they deleted their comments, which is insane. If you go to the video, my breakdown, all these people were talking trash about Nathan, and now I went back to see some receipts they deleted. You mentioned Sugar Nunez, his fight. That's a pick'em. David Easter, that is a pick'em. Right now, my odds are swinging. The sports book down here has Sugar Nunez as the slight favorite. Russell almost killed Rao. He did, man. That was a brutal loss. Josh, tough. Had that. Josh got gas. He did, man. That win for Puello over Gary shows how good Puello is, 100%. And Puello's fighting Subriel Matias soon. So a lot of people, that's not an easy fight for Matias. You know what I'm saying? Puello does a lot of things really well. His movement, his in and out, his knowledge of the game. We look at Subro Matias. I don't want to call him one-dimensional, but, you know, he kind of only has that backhand. I've lost so much money betting on boxing on guys knocking out overmatched opponents. Yeah, if you're losing a lot of money, don't do it. I don't do this to get rich. I do this for entertainment. Yeah, man, you bet. It's still a bet. Life is a gamble. But I'm kind of new to round robins too. I believe it's where you can bet on 3 fights and you only have to be correct on 2 of them. Damn, we don't get that. I don't even have that option. That's the move. You know, and like, I got to be honest with you guys, J.R. Matias would be an amazing fight. When I give you who you got on the Edgar, what's up, Meme? Appreciate you. Who you got on Nunes Rikishi? Meme, appreciate the support, like always. I'm leaning on Sugar Nunes. Rikishi's going to be a tough out. Nunes' latest quality, what he looks like to me, the hype he has around him. That prediction video I'm going to release tomorrow, but I'm leaning on Nunes. Always play what you can afford. 100% Stony PA. Exactly. You never want to be watching boxing or watching any sport needing to win. That's stressful, and I don't ever want to put you guys in that situation. I know some of you guys were pissed that I said that I was picking Harper to win by stoppage against Zimmerman. Yeah, but I'm not telling you to do that. Like, if 10 bucks... What I mean by that, the only fights I really pick to win are the ones I break down for you guys. The ones I believe in, I break down for you guys. And I've hit 42 out of 43. The one loss was the Taylor fight today. But I did take Harper to win by stoppage. I think it was 4-1, $10. It's not like I'm putting $1,000 on that. So it's just like entertainment value. You want to develop your own systems. I do have this, like I said, this cheeky 7-leg parlay working with these fights in Poland. The number 32 fighter in the world. Will, here we go. Give me 1 second. Lucas Dekis. Lucas Dekis is Slovakic. You know you're in too deep when you're talking about Czechoslovakian welterweights. Lucas Dekis is a Slovakian welterweight who fought today on this card. And if you would have taken him, he was $1.32. He knocked his opponent out. I got a little hot parlay working over there. I just need one more fight to come through. So I won the Hollywood fights. I'm going to win the Czechoslovakian fight card. And I'm going to be up. And I apologize for that Taylor fight, man. I didn't see that one coming. That could have went either way. Pick 'em fight for me. Same to Nunes as a cardio machine. I love Nunes' style. The thing is, Nunes hasn't beaten anyone good yet. David, yep. And this is coming from someone who's been high on him. Yeah, 100%. Rikishi beat anyone who's worth talking about. We can pull that up right now, guys. So when I'm looking at, when you're looking at Rikishi, you know, Rikishi has 1 loss. He's been stopped once. That was a while ago. He got stopped in 2018, so he's undefeated since then. If you go to his box rec, I mean, depending on how deep in the game you are, you know, you might not recognize any of these names. But, you know, Magnesi's a good win. Ricardo Nunes, Kamaru, he has some good wins. You know, he's world class. It's not going to be an easy fight. It's a pick him for a reason. Nunes, Rikishi beat anyone. Yeah, just go to his box rec. Guys, wherever you are tuning in, like this video, comment, let me know how you did. Like I said, we got to just keep the ball rolling. 1 loss isn't going to hold us back. I'm watching the Taylor Essuman fight again right now as we speak. It's in the 2nd round. Damn, Josh started out looking good. Taylor started out looking good, man. I was like, this one is in the bag. And I think it was somewhere around the 5th round. Taylor walked back to his corner, and you saw his body language. He just kind of deflated, and I'm like, oh, God, here it is. And then you just saw Essuman turn it on. And, you know, Essuman showed his world-class professionalism in those late rounds. His body language won him that fight. Obviously, his output, the way he boxed. But, you know, when you started seeing the fight psychologically swing into another guy's favor, you look at their body language, and that's, as me, the better. I'm like, fuck, Taylor's going to let us down here. But anyway, anyone heard news on Jinjiru's condition? Nope. BoxRec has him ranked number 1 at 130. Jose Miguel, 304. I don't understand what it is with Taylor. I know. I think it's a, from what I'm hearing, it seems like Taylor, like, lifestyle, sort of like, outside the ring, he parties, he's a drinker, and he's always kind of been that way. That's what I've heard. I'm not personally friends with the guy. I mean, this was a guy not too long ago, was top 10 pound for pound rankings, which is hard to, but you know, boxing guys, how quick fighters fall off for one reason or another, whether it's lifestyle issues, 1 loss. Look historically the last 5 years of what the pound for pound boxing top 10 looked like, and as it looks like today, it's constantly this evolving door like an elevator. Guys coming up, guys going down. So it's what boxing is. And when you're looking at predicting these fights and predicting these outcomes, that's why I think it's important not to just look at their win-loss record. Think about Maxie Hughes. A lot of you guys thought Archie Sharp was going to beat Hughes because Hughes had 7 losses. But you have to look at the overall picture of their career, who those losses were to, when those losses were. If you were to bet on Sugar Nunez and Rikishi, and just because Rikishi has 1 loss, and you just say that, oh, he's got knocked out, Nunez should beat him. I mean, his only loss was 7 years ago. So it really is about what have you done for me lately in terms of seeing who the best guy is in the ring. And then with Taylor, you see glimpses. You saw glimpses tonight. When he's on, he's on. He controls the center. He's working those body shots. He's controlling the pace. But he fell off quick. Yeah, he was winning all the early rounds. Essuman, look, it was a tale of 2 fights. And BoxRec initially had this fight as a 10-rounder. That's another thing. I think it was always a 12-rounder. But if it was a 10-rounder, Josh wins that fight by decision. I know somebody in the comment section this week said that this was a 10-rounder. And I was like, I don't know about that. It was a 12-rounder, and Essuman stole those late rounds, which I feel gave him the fight. I always said those guys were the all-average in that era. I know it sounds cruel, but they were just a bunch of evenly matched guys, and Taylor happened to be. Yeah, and you could only fight who they put in front of you. You can't really control what era you're from. Have you watched Jimmy Flint match? He got a very bad. Yeah, Flint was a 10-1 favorite, fought the whole fight with 1 arm and got out decision. I didn't bet that fight. I know some of you guys put Flint on your ticket. He was on the undercard in Doncaster. Big favorite, people are high on him, and he fought the whole fight with 1 arm and lost the decision. And kudos to his opponent for winning the fight, but it ruined a lot of people's parlays. I fought Donkey Kong with bare hands. Okay, True Hefe. That's good to know, mate. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the 3rd round of the Taylor fight. Essuman's coming out quick. Get off the weed, bro. I know. Maybe he's on that other stuff. I know, depending where you come from, you guys are into that hard. But it's Sunday morning here. I didn't watch the fight, but I just want to say highway robbery. Who got robbed? But to be fair, when Crawford fought at 140, it was even worse back then. Yeah, I mean, you could say, I don't know, man. You could only beat who they put in front of you. Josh only won 4 rounds on 2 of the cards. He would have still lost over 10 rounds. Really? Yeah. What next for Taylor? I do. I think Taylor's going to have to make those decisions. I mean, he could always be a domestic fighter. We know how these countries like Scotland and England are with their boxing. They love their fighters. We know that Josh probably he could fill out a stadium, an arena in Scotland, any day of the month. So if he wants to do that, he's only 34 years old. We forget Essuman was the older guy here. Essuman's 2 years older than Josh, and later on in the fight, Josh looked like the older guy. Those long nights add up, mate. Whether you're on the piss, whether you're down here in Australia, alcohol, whether you're drinking, whether you're smoking, whether you're late nights partying, whatever it is, as a professional athlete, especially as a prize fighter, those late nights add up, man, especially with your cardio and how you carry yourself. And this is what I've been hearing on the Josh Taylor side of things. I thought he had everything cleaned up. That's what I heard. That's what I was leaning on. But when the cardio disappears, you have to think it was a conditioning issue. He could be a domestic fighter, like I said. It depends how much money he has, how much money he wants to want, how much he wants to fight. This is why I picked him. Moving up to 47, fighting in front of his home country, that to me proved that he wants to fight still, right? You don't want to go and embarrass yourself. You don't want to tarnish your legacy in front of your home people if you're not prepared. So he looked prepared. He couldn't carry his cardio. Taylor did not get robbed. Nah, Taylor lost that fight. They should have gave Josh Taylor the UD automatically since it was in Scotland. What's the point in fighting your home country? We would have won. I agree with you, Gold member, but that's not too ethical as boxing fans. I don't like guys getting home cooking just for the sake of the parlay. I knew that even though I had Josh win on my parlay, I knew he lost. I would have been upset if they gave that to Josh because Essuman deserved that fight. Where's Barbell Strength, the upset guy? I wonder if he took Essuman. Oh, yeah. Where's Barbell Strength? He also said Lee McGregor was going to starch Collins. And he also said Archie Sharp was going to beat Maxie. I said before it was hard to make predictions for. Yeah, you did, Afro. You know what? And like I said, if I do an analysis and feature breakdown of upcoming fight, part of my system is to give you a prediction. And if you go back a year ago, I never used to do that. I would do I think I broke down one of the first fights I was breaking down, and you guys asked. I wasn't giving you predictions. I would just stop the video and ask you guys. And then a lot of people in the comments section were like, why aren't you giving your predictions? So that's why I give my predictions. I don't do it to tell you I'm the best gambler or I know more than anyone else. I just do my film study. I do my research, and boxing's been in my life since I was a kid. And you can't, I have like I said, my hit rate in the last 3 months is over 90%. So you could look at the receipts. You could go to my playlist and look at predictions. When it comes to my money line betting, I've only lost 1 out of 43. This Josh Taylor fight was the first fight I lost since that New York City card when I picked Arnold Barboza and Ryan Garcia. But from that fight to now, I've hit. Have you seen the Itamo knockout? Yeah. Ituama, it's going to see, Victor, who they pair him with. We know how volatile that heavyweight division is, but also we know how quickly you could climb the ladder. They're going to have to. He's still young, man. I wouldn't rush him, though. He has holes. He was never given the chance. 147 used to be pretty stacked division. 100%. Buddy, what's up? David, Pacers are up 2-0. Yes, they are. On God here, man. I remember when Johnny wasn't doing predictions. Goat, you've been an OG. Yeah, I wasn't. You guys talked me into doing predictions. So, I've always been truthful with you guys, transparent. You guys ask for things, I'll give it to you. And I'm having fun doing the predictions. But the last thing I want to do is put anybody who's new to the channel in a position to gamble money they don't have, because we know it's gambling. There's no such thing as locks in anything where there's competition involved. Anything can happen. There was a fight like you brought up, the Flint. There's a fight on the Doncaster undercard between Zimmerman and Harper, and he was a 10-1 favorite. His last name was Flint, and in the second round he breaks his hand, and he had to fight the whole fight with one arm, and he lost the decision to a guy. I know a lot of you guys put Flint on your parlay because it looked like a lock. So yeah, things like that happen. I'm in the UK. Essuman has been through a gauntlet of opponents that are tough but not advertised abroad. Afro. Yeah, man, and that's where we didn't get that knowledge. And I looked at the tape on Essuman, and all I could do as a fight fan is break down who I see he fights, right? You look at the opponents a guy fights, you look at their level, their class, you look how they fared. Doesn't have one-punch knockout power, doesn't have, a lot of knockouts, and he beats who they put in front. But when you take Essuman at his best and Taylor at his best, that's why, true, anything can happen, but I just didn't see Essuman beating Taylor. I also didn't see Taylor fading at 47. He looked good early, like I said. This is round 4. He looked good in rounds 1, 2. Look, he throws that backhand. He stumbles Essuman in the 4th. Go back to the 4th round with a minute left. He stumbles Essuman. It looks like he was on wobbly legs. Essuman just had to clinch. So everything was going in Taylor's favor until it wasn't. How much of that is... and Essuman returns with a big right hand. Staggers Taylor in the 4th. Gets his get back. This was the shift of the fight where I was talking about earlier. It was this 4th round. So yeah, they both had their moments, but maybe Taylor underestimated Essuman. They have their history back in the amateur days. My parlay lost because of Taylor. Yep, all of us did. Nothing to apologize. You're doing a great job. Thanks, Pablo. I appreciate you. When they gave the UD to Essuman, I fainted like Shigoka. Oh God, Victor Zakov. Yeah, Johnny Flynn. It was a crazy fight. I actually thought he won single hand. A lot of that's it. It was one of the most interesting fights on that fight card because of what happened. Everybody knew he was hurt, and he was still trying to fight. And he's still a good prospect, but on his record, he has 1 loss. Kudos to his opponent. It meant everything to him. He did what he needed to do, but he wasn't supposed to win. That's what we call feeder fights. That dude was fed to Flint. Flint was supposed to eat, and he didn't, because things in boxing happen. We can't control injuries. You can't control cuts. You can't control things that are, that happen in boxing. It's a blood sport. He used too much energy early. I think so. He didn't fight, and that comes down to professionalism. As a world champion fighter on the world level, part of being a professional is understanding how to carry that cardio, how to carry your conditioning, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. That's why we say there's levels to boxing. That's one of the levels, when you know to push the gas, pull it back. And a world-class fighter, you never see gas out. You know what I mean? They've prepped, they prepared, they were professional in their preparation, and that's one of the things. Other than studying their opponent, you have to put the work in, the road work, the miles. I'm not saying Josh didn't do that. He's had a long career. At only 34, he's been around a long time. Wasn't the most active guy either. Fought a lot of big names early. Hasn't seen a lot of success lately. How much of that is confidence and psychological, though? You know, started the 5th round when he thought he had Essuman hurt in the 4th, and Essuman returned fire. Maybe Josh wasn't expecting that. And Essuman is turning on from this round onward. Shigoka is good. Yeah, everybody check on him. I haven't been able to check on Shigoka. Essuman's body punches were huge, right? Moses Essuman, what did you think? Shinless opponent, though. I know, David, it's tough. It's tough to make a conclusion on young heavyweights who are put in there as $1-2 against a 12-1. You know what I mean? You're supposed to look good. You're supposed to look good until you move up, until they put you in a. He's yet to be tested, which is fine. There wasn't much value in betting. Yeah, I didn't really bet on him. Hope we get the win next parlay. Yeah, I mean, we could always, like I said, Wednesday. There's two world title fights in Japan. Sugar Nunez. So the two fight, you have the IBF super featherweight world title this Tuesday night in America, Wednesday in Australia. And then you have, I'm going to cover both of these fights. And then there's the WBO bantamweight world title between Takai and Tongdi. So we'll see what those odds are. Right now, Nunez is like $1.75. It's almost a pick 'em. Moses, the ones that help we get the win. They have Moses like, yeah, I didn't bet on Moses. I'm not gonna. It's hard for me to cover every single fight, especially when fighters are that big of favorites. And there are a lot of fight cards like there are this week. We got, looking ahead, guys. We got the midweek fight card in Japan. Caleb Plant is fighting Resendez this weekend, so there's some fighters on that undercard I know you guys want to see featured. What you could do for me is go through. What I like to do is just Google Boxing Scene, has the boxing schedule, the boxing calendar globally. It's always updated. Check out the fight cards and check out some of the preliminary fights on those fight cards. And if you want me to feature a fight, comment so I know that early. Because right now I'm a one-man show and all I have time to do is obviously feature the main event, the co-main on all these cards. And so Wednesday is already going to take up 2 fights of our time with Sugar Nunez and the co-main there. So have a look. There wasn't much value. They had Moses. Any opinions on Wallace versus Colin on Apatea card? Yeah, that fight's coming up too. I got you're talking about Connor Wallace from Australia. He has a lot of hype about him. Important fight at 175. Do the undercard of Plant. I'm going to, Jose. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Let's talk a little bit about that real quick. Here we go. So on that undercard, that's this weekend. Jose Resendez. Let's see that whole event. That's going down in Vegas. Jermell Charlo's the co-main, fighting Cornflake Thomas Lamanna. Yano Hernandez is on. Kyron Davis is on that card. Yeah, there's a lot of fighters. Kermel Moton's on that card. So there's a lot of Aussie or American up-and-comers. Yeah, Moton. They have Moton currently on BoxRec at number 97, fighting at number 485. That's a kid that I'm interested in. I just want to see him move up. He's still young. You don't want to rush a young kid, teenager. But, you know, fight fans get a little restless when you get the promotion by a young kid and he's getting paired up against guys and he's starching them. You want to see that kid tested. We'll see what happens. He's on that undercard. Isaac Lucero's on the undercard. Yeah, the undercard has some good boxing names. You can have a look at it. It's on BoxRec right now. I'm looking forward to Kyron Davis. Yeah, that's a good fight too. How do you have Nunez at 175 for me? How do you have... Victor, it's the odds right now on Nunez. I don't know if you guys could go to... I'll read it to you real quick. And you guys always comment on the odds are different down here. Yeah, right now Nunez is $1.51. And Rikishi's 280. So 100 on Nunez gets you your money plus 51. 100 on Rikishi gets you your money plus 180. So Rikishi's almost a 2-1 dog right now. It was a lot closer a couple days ago. I haven't looked at those odds probably since Wednesday. The last time I looked, Nunez was at $1.75. He's at $1.51 now. I think that's a pretty safe bet. I mean, you don't have to do parlays. I only give you the long parlay because I feature those fights. You take Nunez by decision and Sakai by decision. You know, that's 2 fights, gets you back on the winning track. I could definitely see that happening. I'll be uploading those videos tomorrow, and I'll give you my prediction on Nunez, how the way it goes, and Takai. But I like those bets. I'm looking forward to Kyron Davis. If Canelo and Tank had a baby, Carmel Moan. Oh my God. Well, if Canelo and Tank had a baby, that's an odd thing to think about if we're thinking about, literally, considering we're lacking. Never mind. Let's change the subject. Nunes gets you 45 on FanDuel. I think that's a fun bet. And then let's say you put 100 on Nunes, gets you 45. You keep the 145 in your account, and you carry it over to the weekend. This is how I build. This is how I always make money on boxing. Don't get impulsive and impatient, guys. Just because you lost on the Josh Taylor card doesn't mean that, like, it's just one loss. So you got to be patient and have a realistic perspective on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to win with upsets? Pick upsets. Are you trying to be impulsive? Do that. But if you want to make money on boxing, it's very possible. You just got to be patient. And that's what I would do. If you guys hit on Nunes, if I hit on Nunes, like I keep money in my sports betting account until it gets to a certain amount. So like I talked about a couple weeks ago, if it could pay a big bill, I deduct. Usually my amount is like 500. When I get over 500, I deduct in my bank account and I rebuild that way. So I used to let it get over to a couple thousand, and then I would make a stupid bet and lose it. So as I've gotten smarter, I used to gamble on college football. As I've gotten smarter, I made these restrictions. Over 500, deduct in my bank account and build back up, and that's what I do. So you're never in a position in needing to win. Whenever fighters come off inactivity, move in a different way, there's always a loss. Not always a loss. Sometimes you see good things. You know what I mean? Tank has a little sugar in his tank. Gold member. Yeah, Tank. No comment. It's like when Curtis Stevens came off inactivity and moved down and right. Well, almost has a good stop. He used to be fair. Stevens washed up. It's the same thing as Josh Taylor. Yeah, Josh doesn't look the same. What's your take on Boots sparring Canelo to prep? I don't think that's good. I mean, somebody started that. American boxing content creators just start rumors, man. I don't like playing. I mean, that one. You're talking about the rumors that I think somebody on Boxing Voice started. He was like, oh, this should happen. But, yeah, I don't pay attention to that. I mean, Canelo sparring Boots. I mean, what's your take on Boots sparring? I've lost 15K betting on boxing. Yeah, man, make some adjustments. How? Thanks for clarifying. I kind of like to only bet big on smaller cards like the Golden Boy cards. Yeah, man, those top-ranked cards, the Golden Boy cards, that Hollywood card, man. Like I said, we hit this week. We just didn't win all of them. Betting on the underdogs. It could happen. Back when Boots and his fought Karen, I put like 10 bands on it to not go the distance. Karen Chukachin. What a lot. Dude, Chukachin's tough, too. Jose Miguel, LOL. All right, let's see what we got here. It's amazing when you look at the boxing content creators, the type of content people make internationally. Like the Brits, I've been watching some of the British boxing content. They don't do any, like a lot of they're talking on like just a screen with one picture, and they're talking just like this. And then like the American boxing content creators are just making up lies. They're just so emotional, and they hate on fighters, and they spread just like propaganda. So I like staying in my own little niche. Like I like editing. So if you watch my channel, I come from I filmed a couple documentaries with film crews. We've traveled the world. I've been to Myanmar, Cyprus. I did a documentary on the sport called Lethwei, which is bare knuckle Muay Thai, but the headbutt is legal. So in that experience, I learned how to edit. I learned how to film. And at that time, I didn't know I'd be doing a boxing channel years later. So that's kind of like my point of difference is I like the storytelling component. I keep it ethical. I don't lie. And I like editing. So it's interesting. When you ask me about the Canelo sparring Boots, that's what triggers my mind. Like, dude, some of the American boxing content creators are so insanely, like, unethical. It's insane, dude. It's crazy people go there for boxing facts. I'm not hating on them. I'm just like, if you're getting your boxing facts from certain channels, no wonder the boxing fandom is filled with casuals because, you're not coming at it from an ethical standpoint. That's one of my goals on my channel, is just to talk about the facts. What's your biggest wins? My biggest win recently, outside of boxing, I told you guys this the other day. I bet $10 on a Cleveland Browns game, and I won, I think, $6,000. So $10 to win $6,000. But then in 2013, I won $23,000 on college football. And at the time, I was a strength coach at a gym, and I took the $23K and I paid my year's rent. So it was the business model at the time was you have this health club, you have 30 strength coaches. The strength coaches pay weekly rent. So I hit for like 23,000, and then I paid my 22,000 year rent off, and then I was able to build my business. That was in 2013. If you bet unit sizes to bet in the long run, Dave, if you can, I would start betting bigger on money lines. They're the easiest to win, just for clicks, I guess. Yeah, I agree. You can get money lines, 15K losses wearing. I know it's best to slowly build, manage your bankroll. Yeah, management's huge. Will, great point, man. I like that. Very educated response. Management, reality, and don't be impulsive. Yeah, don't be impulsive. If you're not having fun watching these, if you guys ever see me doing videos and I'm like sad, and you can tell there's a difference in my personality, somebody call me out. Be like, Johnny, how much are you gambling too much, Johnny? Yeah, because I used to live in Vegas too, guys. I lived in Vegas for 2 years. And that taught me a lot about gambling. It taught me a lot about addicts. It taught me a lot about degenerates. And so I have some life experience that I pull from when I'm betting on sports. Like, you know, you through life experience, you learn sort of boundaries, what you'll do and what you won't do. And so my moral compass is never to gamble to get wealthy, because you're not in control of it. I have a Nigerian prince make my bets for me, but I haven't seen a return since 2010. Well, you look lean and strong with a hoodie on, Isaac Gluten. I am. I mean, I'm 5'11", 180, probably 8% body fat. You know, I'm 43. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm a coach. I sparred yesterday, like every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. in the city of Sydney. I spar 20 rounds. We go now. We're not trying to hurt each other. They pay me to spar them. So I have 2 clients. They pay me every Saturday to go 10 3-minute rounds. So I run 100 kilometers a month. I've been doing that for over 4.5 years. I power lift 5 times a week. I do yoga 2 times a week. So I'm constantly, you know, my body is an outcome of my mind. So I take care of my body so my mind can be sharp. Shit, you take on Benavidez right now then. I know, isn't that crazy? But Benavidez is 6'3". He walks around so big, man. David is a massive guy. That's why I take a lot of shit for not wanting to see certain matchups. But Benavidez, I think he'll you know, come to his own at light heavyweight. I like him there. He's just massive. I cannot do any of that. Only couch sit-ups. You could do a lot. I tell my clients, you could do a lot, which you could do a lot more than what you think you can, mate. So right now, round 8, these judges have Taylor up 68-65. And he let this fight go. Taylor let the fight go, but it's all good. Guys, wherever you're tuning in, like this video, comment. If you're catching on the live stream, I say thank you. If you're new to the channel, I say welcome. And some of you guys are OGs. You've been here a while. We're growing. If you're catching this on the edited form on my playlist, let me know what fights you want me to feature. We got the Caleb Plant Resendez card coming up. There's a lot of exciting American prospects on that card. Sugar Nunez is midweek. I'm betting on that fight. I'm betting on that card. There's 2 fights I think we can make some money on, and I'll be uploading those videos tomorrow. I go live every day, so if you could catch these live streams wherever you are in the world, I usually go live this time. It's my morning in Sydney. In America, it'll be your evening the night before. What's your next guess on Benavidez is fighting next? After I lost 10K on Boots, stopping Karen, I've lost money on Zoo beating Fandora, Ramos beating Lubin, Conwell Perez has a bad taste in my mouth too. And I can't believe Tellez didn't go in there and knock out Williams. Yeah, I don't like betting heavy on outcomes though, mate. Not sure if you know this, but Benavidez and Andre Ward are my 2 favorite. I wish Andre Ward would have fought Kelly Pavlik. So you guys know I grew up with Pavlik. Kelly and Andre Ward were supposed to fight. They did a whole press conference tour, and then Kelly had to have arm surgery. I cashed out and bet against Taylor. Had a gut feeling he would lose. Yale Morris, salute. Good call. Yeah, it is. David Easter. If you can't win with those kind of bets, then how are you gonna win this stuff if these guys are gonna go in there? Yeah, I don't have a lot of good luck betting on outcomes. So every week I give you my method of victory, my outcomes, but like I make all my money on money lines. The money line king, 42 out of 43. Some of you guys were talking trash. Oh, you picked all the money lines. It's $1.54. Okay, mate. You pick the upsets and you lose while I keep winning. I'm just laughing at you guys too who make fun of the money line betting. That's how you win. I cashed out. He's tweaking. He bet a lot. I know, mate. God, betting that heavy on an outcome is insane to me. I couldn't imagine putting 10K on 2 men who are both trying to, you know, have as a professional athlete, one has to knock the other out. That's insane to me. If I do that, I'm going like $10, like, or I might go 100. Like I was happy I went heavy on Boots versus Stanionis. I put 100 on Boots to win and stop Stanionis. That was my favorite bet so far in the last quarter was Boots Stanionis stoppage. But there's no way I would put that on a parlay. I would never go heavy on a stoppage parlay with a couple, like even like Terry Harper to stop Zimmerman, and I think I had Hughes to stop. Whatever it was like $10. But people were pissed at me because that didn't hit. I lost over 1,000 on Bocek because he didn't stop Fox. Yeah, a lot of people did. Last outcome I bet was Tank versus Martin. Yeah, that's all. Now if you have matchups like that, but I know a lot of people pick Tank to stop Roach, and now that kind of changes your system. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta go lift. I got my girl coming over. She's a little athlete as well. We're gonna do a little powerlifting session. I got a deadlift, and I'm gonna probably do some Zercher squats. Stay tuned to the channel. We just keep rolling this thing over. Boxing is our life. I feel like we've been covered. Like I said, I feel like the Hollywood card with Johnny Mansour was 18 days ago. It was 36 hours ago. So if you're winning, keep it up. If you're losing, check yourself. I don't ever want to tell you guys that this is a channel that I know everything, because I don't. I'm still learning as you are. And if you're not having fun doing this, man, maybe talk to a friend. If you watch all my videos, I always put that hotline up in my video for a reason. Living in Vegas, I've known personally some degenerates. So if you need somebody to talk to, mate, reach out to somebody who cares about you. I appreciate what you do to the channel, guys. I appreciate the support here. Let's keep this ball rolling, and everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend.